for this forum on preventing gun violence, and I appreciate your interest, including the people whose views differ from my own. Just like all Americans, of course, your Congressman was shaken by the murder of 26 people, 20 little children who were blown apart at an elementary school in Arlington in December. Incidentally, there's plenty of seats in the front here. There's no need for everybody to stand. We'll try to get everybody seated by the time I finish speaking, so we'll go on and try the other guests. But it's not the first time, and unfortunately it's not going to be the last time that the country has been jolted by another horrific act of gun violence. Well, over 2 years ago, my friend and colleague, Congresswoman Wilters, was killed by a gunman who, she was shot. 6 people were killed, but she was one of the ones who was severely injured, shot in the head. Another dozen people alongside her who were injured seriously. Outside a grocery store in Tucson, Arizona, she was just having kind of a small community gathering. A young child who was interested in following her footsteps one day was killed. She was an innocent bystander attending just a meeting with their congressperson. Last July, a lone gunman equipped with 4 firearms, including an A-15 assault weapon, and more than 6,000 rounds of ammunition, and a drum magazine that could hold 100 rounds of bullets. 100 bullets, and fire 50 to 60 rounds per minute. Took the lives of 12 innocent people and shot 58 others at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado. Of course, about 6 years ago, a student opened fire at Virginia Tech, murdering 32 teachers and students. Now, while these events rightfully provoke calls to reform laws that are meant to prevent gun violence, our nation's problem with gun violence goes far beyond these mass shootings. As horrific as they are, they don't occur on a daily basis, but people are shot on a daily basis. Far, far too many, more so than in any other country. There are about 300 million guns that are owned by Americans, just about as many as there are people in this country. Now, interestingly enough, the number of people owning guns is not necessarily going up. Purchase of guns is going up, which means that individuals are owning more guns in what is becoming an arsenal in some homes. Each year, about 100,000 people in America are shot by a gun. 30,000 die from a gun-related injury. These are suicides and accidents. And 10,000 are murdered by a firearm. Every day, 87 people die from gun violence. Think about that. Every day, 87 people die from gun violence. And it's a uniquely American phenomenon. The firearm homicide rate in the United States is more than 19 times higher than the combined rate of every other civilized nation on the earth. seems to me we have a problem. Tonight, we're here to learn from experts on the use of gun violence as to what can be done to address that problem in an effort to save lives and to make our nation a safer place to live. Before we hear from this knowledgeable panel, I first want to invite a local resident, Omar Samad, to say a few words about the impact that gun violence has had on his life. He was born in Fairfax County. He graduated from Virginia Tech in 2006. His youngest sister, Rima, also attended Virginia Tech and was shot to death in the mass shooting on campus in April of 2007. As a result, since then, he has become an advocate for gun violence prevention. At this point, I would like to introduce and have you welcome Mr. Simone.